Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Tillman Fertitta, who you probably know the name, he's a billionaire who owns the Landry's empire, the restaurants, who also owns the Houston Rockets. Tillman Fertitta gave an interview with Chandler France of the Houston Business Journal and said that he wants to buy the New Orleans Saints. Quote, "I've always loved the New Orleans Saints, but she, Mrs. Benson, won't sell them right now." Gayle Benson is 77 years old. She has no heirs. And about 3-4 years ago, back in 2021, in her will, Gayle Benson named Dennis Lauscha, the Saints team president, the executor of her estate. So whenever she dies, Lauscha will be responsible for executing the sale of the New Orleans Saints, with the contractual caveat being that the team must remain in New Orleans. I don't know if that's legally binding or even possible. If someone buys the team, what they want to do with the team, it feels like they could do. But anyway, it's worth mentioning because Fertitta does own the Houston Rockets, so he is already the owner of a professional sports franchise. So in theory here, he would not be interested in buying the Pelicans because he already owns the Houston Rockets. And he tried to buy the Washington Commanders in this most recent go-round. He offered $4.4 billion, and the Commanders sold for $6 billion. The Saints presently are valued at $4.4 billion, according to a Forbes estimate. You know, I was thinking about the possibility of Tillman Fertitta owning the New Orleans Saints, and it's just interesting because for my entire life, the Bensons have owned the Saints. I mean, I was born in 1982. John Meekum was the founding owner in 1967, and he owned the Saints until 84 when he sold to Tom Benson, who owned the team from the 85 season until his death. And now, since 2018, Gayle Benson has been the sole owner of the team. But the Saints, despite their historical lack of success on the field, have had stability in ownership. And it would be, so we just haven't had to have the conversation much about a sale of the franchise and what may happen. Now, Tillman Fertitta is 67 years old. Again, Gayle Benson is 77, and I don't know how much longer she lives, and hopefully she lives another 20 years, lives a long, healthy, wonderful life. And maybe by that time, Tillman Fertitta is no longer interested in buying the New Orleans Saints. But he's worth $11 billion. He could do it. And I think I would rather a sole owner than an ownership group where pieces of the organization are divvied up a little bit. The only thing that I could think that might be better, and one of the things I do like about Tillman Fertitta, is he is an owner that is pot committed to winning. He will spend money to win. That's what he wants to do. He does the same thing at the University of Houston, where he's heavily invested. I mean, he built them he built the University of Houston a basketball arena. So, I mean, their new on-campus football stadium. I mean, there's so many amazing reasons to think that would be awesome. A long time, hopefully, till we even have to consider that. But I would worry about him moving the team. I mean, he is based in Houston, and while Houston has a team, San Antonio doesn't, and that was something Tom Benson explored around the time for Hurricane Katrina, was moving the Saints to San Antonio. Of course, the NFL nixed that. Shout out Paul Tagliabue. And I don't know that there's a Louisiana-based ownership group, at least not now, presently, that could or would be interested in buying the New Orleans Saints. Now, again, this is all a presumptive and preemptive conversation because Gayle Benson is very much alive and appears very healthy, and it doesn't sound like this is a conversation that needs to be had for some time. But it is interesting when you see a man worth $11 billion saying he's made his interest known in buying the New Orleans Saints, and you can't help but wonder if Mrs. Benson may, before she dies, sell the team. I don't know that that's likely, but it's just a conversation worth filing away for a rainy day and an eventuality of that conversation having to be had. But Tillman Fertitta would be something I'd be on board with, sans a Louisiana-based ownership group that would be willing to keep the team here. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.